can see right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboy fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this team.
I'm ready.
I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face.
Oh, I'm from Brooklyn.
Hey, get us any. I never get this fast. God, I'm slow at my age. Oh my God, it's Wacky Wednesday. Talking baseball with Sal Angioletti. And we're all back together again, starting with
Carl Maglowski.
Matt Siriani. And look who's on the other side.
Look, it's K-Wall over there. Hey, K-Wall. We all got nicknames now. It's K-Wall, Big C, Matty Ice, and Angie. Angie who? Am I allowed? What's this Angie thing? But baseball is back. We're back. We're on fire. Everything is on fire.
New background.
New background, and baseball's
like
alive and well. And once they call the lockout out, this whole past weekend up to today has been
we caved immediately. That's what we did. We caved immediately.
We caved. Yes, we did.
No, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. You know, I know we had a little boycott the last time or I was doing a boycott. But I was impressed with how fast they were able to get a deal done because I knew that they were in deep water. So, you know, it's nice. And, you know, on top of NFL free agency, you know, we're getting a lot of news, both MLB and NFL. It's actually not quite bad, not going to lie. But the most important thing is that we're getting spring training. We're seeing deals done. The Yankees continue to disappoint their fans, even though Hal Steinbrenner said, oh, we're a championship caliber team. No, we're not. Not even close. This is an 85-win team at max. Not winning a championship. Heck, you're not even winning the division. This is a team in a roster that is likely to go for the second wild card and play in a wild card game like they did last year, and they got embarrassed. So I don't know what Hal Steinbrenner's thinking. I don't know what Brian Cashman's being told what to do because this is not the Brian Cashman that we know. And, of course, Hal is running the show right now. And Sons that – take over franchises always disappoint in the long run. And we see it with the Giants. We see it with the Knicks. It doesn't stop. You know, we saw it with the Wilpons before Steve Cohen came in. I'm telling you, it's something with the kids, you know. It's all about money at the end of the day and getting over the tax luxury. And, you know, at least we have another New York team that is saying, screw that. I'm going to sign whoever I want, when I want, and how I want. And we're going to put a championship caliber team at the end of the day.
Yeah, and so the Yankees are making some moves. They finally got rid of some, I don't want to say dead weight because he wasn't really dead weight, but Gary Sanchez is gone, but so is Gio Urshela. They're both in Minnesota with the Twins, and in exchange we get Josh Donaldson and a guy who I've never even heard of, Kiner Falefa.
Well, the Yankees wanted him some time back.
He's a great defender, and he can hit the ball. I'm good with that. I didn't understand getting Josh Donaldson and eating up that $50 million. The guy hasn't had a productive year since 2019. And it's, you know, it's going to be interesting when they finally put a camera on with him and Garrett Cole. I know they spoke, and, you know, at the end of the day, they made those comments saying it's all about winning a championship at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So,
hey, Gary, I got some
I'm sure it's going to be a love-hate Jeter A-Rod type of relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
And I just don't get the Donaldson thing. Like he's better than Urshela, but he's not going to make you a championship caliber type of. He's not going to turn that team around and put the team on his back. He'll hit home runs, but you got to remember, it's an aging defensive player, and of course, we had a shortened season 2020. He didn't have the numbers in 2021. They gave him that $88 million contract. Now we got to eat half of it, and. Father Time is always undefeated unless you're Tom Brady. So, but
Right.
I would bet Father Time is going to beat Josh Donaldson.
Now the reason why
down the road, it's a little frustrating.
Right. Now the reason why you guys didn't go after Matt Olson was because he didn't want to give up. He didn't want to give up the prospects that are in the minors now that are going to be potentially playing shortstop next year.
Right.
That's why he didn't give them up. That's why he just said, no, we'll bring back Rizzo and go after the guys playing short for you guys this year and Donaldson.
Yeah.
Like what Kevin said, Donaldson's last best year was when he was with Atlanta and he had, 38 home runs. That was it. Everything after besides that, he's been on the decline.
Yeah, he's been moved around, 3 times since? He's
been with Toronto, then he signed that 1-year deal with Atlanta, and then he was a free agent after Atlanta, and that's when he signed that huge deal with Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't see why Minnesota did that if they weren't even close to going anywhere. They think Toronto
they were contenders though in 19. They were contenders in 19.
Yeah, they hit more home runs than any other team in MLB history that year.
Who, Minnesota? Yeah, the Yankees were right behind them.
And then the shortened season 2 years ago, they were in the playoffs.
Okay.
But they got swept to Houston, the 60-game season.
And the Yankees beat them too once in the playoffs, didn't they?
Yeah, well, the Yankees own the Twins in the playoffs. They own the Twins in the playoffs.
Not just the Twins, the Rangers as well. The Yankees always had the right. Toronto just got scarier. Matt Chapman. And here is Oakland now. Okay, they raised the luxury tax. Now we're going to get rid of everybody. Which means
it up. Same with Cincinnati.
Which means there you go. Let's go to Vegas and relocate. It's the writing's on the wall.
Before the show started, I also saw another move that was shocking. Zach Greinke signed with Kansas City.
Oh, he went back home?
He's coming back.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. Nice. Yeah. He's going to finish his career there. That's a nice move. And I thought some ball players might, like Verlander. I didn't think he would have gone back to Houston. I thought he was going to sign with Detroit, maybe finish his career. Like I said, Matt Chapman, the Toronto just got scarier with that lineup. So do they got the pitching is what it is.
I mean, Sal, you said it last year that Toronto, they're going to be the real deal in the next couple seasons. And, last year, I mean, with the young talent of Vlad Jr., and who knows, you never know about Freddie Freeman, even though it looks like the Blue Jays are going in a different route, of course, but they're being aggressive for the first time, since 1992, 1993. They would just develop their guys, and they would be good here and there, but they were never playoff material. And now with Vlad Jr. and they realize they have a future, and they realize they have the pitching and being aggressive. So why not? But the last thing I want to see is Freddie Freeman, in the AL East. I know the Red Sox have been talking, and of course we heard Toronto being the lead candidate.
Tampa was another one.
That's the Yankees' worst nightmare. If he goes to LA,
he's going to be a Dodger.
It's expected because the Dodgers are.
I have a question.
He's got a sleeper team. What was your sleeper team?
I said he was going to Blue Jays.
Okay.
Oh, that's what I said, and they were leading interest. Toronto's going to be aggressive, and how crazy would that be? With Freddie Freeman, and he's got Canadian connections. People don't understand that. When they heard, Toronto is
dual citizenship.
Toronto's going to be making moves. He's got connections there, so don't be surprised. And he's still in his prime. Even if you give him a 6-year deal, he's going to be productive for at least half of that contract. And then, worst case, you eat up the final 2 years, as much of these long-term contracts last. You get a good, 3/4 of it, or at least 65, 66%, and then that's it. And if I'm the Toronto Blue Jays, why not? Because you're going to have to extend Vlad Jr. in a few years. This is a win-now mentality for Toronto, and it's not a hard division. It really isn't.
Right. That's why I said Toronto, because
it's not a hard division. Tampa's always playing Moneyball. Boston will be here and there. The Yankees, they've been lacking. They're competitive, but they're not championship caliber teams, and no one cares about Baltimore at the moment, other than
except for Ming.
than their minor league system, the future down the road. But if I'm the Blue Jays, now's like my time to be all in, and they see it. And if you can get Freddie Freeman and there's mutual interest, why not? But it's just hard to believe that these top free agents would start thinking about going up the border, which is something we really haven't seen before, or as far as in my lifetime, in Matty Ice's time.
Mm-hmm.
I have another sleeper. Watch out. They fell short last year by a game. Watch out for Seattle. Because they just did the trade with Cincinnati with what they just got. They got Suarez and Winkler.
Henry Winkler, the font?
Yeah, Henry Winkler. Jesse's dad. Yeah, so they're going to Seattle. So Cincinnati just traded those two over there, so that's going to help their lineup. So watch out for Seattle. They fell short last year. I think they're going to make it.
Well, they lose out by a game.
They just got better in the last couple of days.
We almost had a four-way tie in the wild card standings.
That's right. Year. We were talking about it.
We almost had one.
That's right. It almost happened with the Yankees. It was the Yankees, Seattle,
Blue Jays, and Boston Red Sox.
Right. That would have been crazy.
That would have been crazy. Well, I explained it would have been Yankees, Red Sox, and then Seattle versus Toronto. But unfortunately, we didn't get that. What we got was Yankees, Red Sox. What we got was a disaster. But
the last team I said it on this show. The last team that I wanted the Yankees to face in the wild card was Seattle because they were on fire, and they had that momentum, young pitching.
Yep.
And they just got better with that trade. And Houston, of course, is still the favorite to win and the better team. But Seattle, they're gonna make some noise. They will make some noise, and they're showing this offseason, hey, we're serious. We're a contender. Right. We haven't made the postseason since 2001. It's time to step up, and we could actually be the face of Seattle right now, since the Seahawks are blowing it up with Russell Wilson, and apparently no one wants to go to Seattle right now. This could be a Mariners team. It's going to take a lot of hard work and winning, but for now, the Mariners can really make some noise in the AL West, and especially in the AL.
Yeah, especially the West, because apparently Oakland has thrown in the towel. There's trade rumors going on right now and talks.
The Angels are still trying to figure things out in the West.
Between the Yankees and Oakland, two of their starting pitchers, Luke Voigt's name has come up with Gleyber Torres as potentially going to Oakland for these two pitchers, and I have no idea what's going to happen. But let's go switch over to the NL East, and it looks like Uncle Stevie's not playing around this year. We knew last year he just was his first year as the new Met owner. Gave it some time. They were in first, lost it, and now they got probably one of the first or second best pitching staffs in the NL East right now.
Mm-hmm.
With Mad Max and Chris Bassett at Oakland, and they made a couple other moves, and they're going to be in there. And Carl, we're going to give it to you. What has your Phillies done? They made a couple of good signings.
Yeah, so they a couple of days ago they signed the reliever Brad Hand for a 1 year, $6 million contract to help with the bullpen. I was also surprised.
Hey, a bullpen guy. How about that?
Yeah, they also signed Jerry's Familia to help with the bullpen. That's an extra.
Another bullpen guy. How about that?
Yes. And I was shocked. I just saw they just got today Schwarber, Mr. Kyle Schwarber. They got him today.
Another outfielder. How about that?
Well, they don't have no one because McCutcheon went to Milwaukee. So they got Schwarber.
That's going to be weird, especially with his connections in the NL Central. Of course, his tenure with Pittsburgh,
So
that's going to deal a lot of Pirates.
So right now, my outfield, I'm looking pretty good. You got Schwarber in left, and then you got Harper in right. Now they're also talking about Chris Bryant. They were talking about Schwarber and Bryant. They got Schwarber. Do you imagine if they get Bryant to play third? That'll be even better. And then
what's the thing? No, we haven't really heard any noise about Chris Bryant and Trevor Story, especially when you would have thought when these free agency began, earlier in the week, that Chris Bryant, Trevor Story, of course, Freddie Freeman, and Olsen, we haven't heard anything about Chris Bryant and Trevor Story unless very little, which is really shocking to me.
Yeah, Bryant's been thrown around to the Mets conversation, but apparently Steve doesn't want to get rid of J.D. Davis or Dominic Smith. So who knows what's going to happen there?
Well,
But
hearing the reports that Lindor and them were able to make amends. So, I the Mets, they made it clear, especially with them working out, that
mhm.
they're going to be on the same team this year. So, and I think the Mets, they're looking at another pitcher, or I mean, they got their pitchers, but I wouldn't be surprised if they went bullpen yet again, and they are going to get another at bat. But I don't see Chris Bryant being in Steve Cohen's market. I just don't see that at the moment. Again, we could be wrong when you have a $14 billion owner and he can just give you a blank check.
Mhm.
But
I have
I
a
just don't
question
see
for
Bryant
all
in
you guys.
our
All you guys. If they get either the Phillies get either Story or Bryant, do they make Atlanta and the Mets shake?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, can you repeat that question? I'm sorry. Repeat that question.
So they don't have to get both, but if the Phillies get either Bryant to play third or Story to play short, or the two front teams, the Mets and Atlanta, are they going to be scared about what the Phillies could do?
No.
Well, depending on their pitching.
The Phillies, they'll win games, but you got to remember, even though that they're losing Freddie Freeman, Atlanta, they still got a young roster. Now they got their first baseman locked up for the next 9 years, and he's just, he's not Freddie Freeman, but he's going to put numbers up in Atlanta.
Mhm.
And the Mets, on paper, we'll see what happens, as the season progresses, because, when you have a roster on paper, it doesn't matter once the first pitch begins.
Right.
But I still feel like you guys got a lot of work to do. And even though you got two pitchers in the bullpen, and we know that was your issue last year, I think you may have to get one more arm at least. The only way that you guys will be competitive is pitching. I don't think it has anything to do with the bats. You got to really focus on pitching in the bullpen. And you're doing that. You are doing that, but just coming off with the Mets are doing and how Atlanta, coming off a championship, and they're going to get Acuna back. It's going to be tough. It's really going to be tough no matter who you get. So you're facing a challenge regardless, but I don't see how you can't be competitive, but you got a lot of climbing to do to get to that mountaintop this year.
Right.
We also saw Clayton Kershaw sign a 1-year extension with the Dodgers.
We knew that was going to happen.
Possibly, this is the end of the road after this season. They'll possibly be the end of the road because he's getting there and up there in age. What is he? 37, 38 years old, 37?
34.
34. 37. Okay. All right. So he's getting up there in age.
I don't think Kershaw's retiring yet, though. No, I don't think he's retiring yet. He can say he's a family guy all he wants, as long as he's on a competitive team and he's not leaving the Dodgers. I know he's got connections to Texas and especially the Texas Rangers. Why would you want to leave the Dodgers when you're still like their ace? You're
on a perennial contender as well. That's the thing.
Oh boy, the Cubs signed Suzuki on a 5-year contract. The outfielder from Japan.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
I don't know who that is.
Can you say his first name, Sal?
What's his first name?
Sai
Suzuki. What team did he play for originally?
Japan.
He was in. Okay, so he was part of the Japanese baseball.
What do you play? The KBO?
Does he have marbles?
Marbles?
Huevos.
You have marbles?
Was very
Hopefully
bad.
he knows that going into the wall is not the rules. You got to catch the ball and try not to get hurt.
All right. So the Cubs are adding some prospects from Japan over there.
The Cubs are still they're not doing anything. They're irrelevant.
Yeah, they're not.
Season.
You see Chris Bryant going back home?
No. Why would he? The Cubs are not a competitive team coming into the season. They're in rebuild mode.
Okay,
they know that.
Rizzo.
No,
he's back.
I don't like it.
I knew they were going to go that route. I said it yesterday.
And it doesn't make any sense. Why are you being loyal to this guy? Why are you being loyal to him when you had the hottest first baseman, left-handed, who's going to hit more home runs, a better glove than Rizzo? Why?
Here we go. It's going to be Rizzo, DJ, that new guy, Donaldson, Joey Gallo. Did everybody forget Tim LaCastro's back? Whatever is back.
No. Aaron Hicks to the sticks.
Yeah.
Hicks is done.
He's finished.
He's done.
I'm gonna miss Sterling. You know that Harry Scary, and I'm gonna miss all those Sterling calls. Oh, Gio Shella, he's one happy fella.
Oh, you might be surprised that Gary Sanchez got traded.
I'm
not surprised at all. I'm not surprised Gary Sanchez got traded because he was.
It had to be done. It had to be done.
It could have been done 2 years ago.
No, he was on the decline. He had to go.
Decline. The guy ran Joe Girardi out of the Bronx.
He was benched in the postseason last year.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I like Kyle Higashioka as a catcher, but I like Kyle Higashioka as a catcher. He's a better defensive catcher than Gary Sanchez is, but like at the same time,
no stick.
Like he can't run.
In the catcher position, the only thing that matters is your glove and managing the game on the field. That's right. All that matters. I don't care if my catcher bats .215, 8 home runs, and 40 RBIs. As long as he can catch and he can pit and he can catch a good game and help us win games, that's all that matters. Don't get me wrong; it's a bonus if your catcher can hit 25 plus home runs. Mm-hmm. But if you're a mediocre catcher with a bat, I'm sorry, I'm taking the glove over the bat.
Who's the other guy they got in the trade? The other catcher who he looks like he's got Hulk Hogan 24-inch pythons. This guy, this backup catcher. Who is?
Looks like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, he got them 24-inch pythons, brother, right there. I forgot his name.
I'm sure you'll see him in Somerset or Scranton this year.
That's why. You know what? Let's bring it up now. Let's just do it now.
Oh no.
Well, what's going on? You got De Blasio gone. The only ass clown who eats pizza with a knife and fork.
I do that too. I'm not Italian.
That explains a lot.
He freaking leaves New York. He left the whole city a disaster with this whole private sector mandate. You got to be this, you got to be that. Kyrie could sit in the stands but not play. They get fined for him going to the locker room. Cotton and Roberts mentioned it yesterday. So supposedly they were the first show. According to the other guy, no, they weren't. Matty Ice, Met and Yankees, there's a lot of them who are unvaccinated on both teams. So that's like the whole starting lineup.
Yeah,
for the Yankees that aren't vaccinated. What are we doing here?
First off, let me just say, I don't know if Kevin and Ed talked about this on Poke the Vocal yesterday, but I think the mandate in New York. You did? Well, let me harp on it again. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like,
lifted everything.
Bill de Blasio is the biggest stupid idiot I've ever come across. I've ever gotten to meet in person. I've actually seen him once.
Your hands really good?
No, his hand
bleach.
No, he sanitizes his hands way too much. It feels like Clorox. But anyways, like but like seriously, Bill de Blasio basically gave a big FU to New York when he left.
He was while he was mayor anyway.
He gave a big FU to the city of New York. But I think it's stupid that players who are unvaccinated that are playing for New York sports teams who can't play. But yet, you could be from Milwaukee, or you could be from Minnesota, or you could be from whatever other state, and you could play if you're unvaccinated. Like, it makes no sense. Like if you're Eric Adams, you're in the crosshairs of this. Kevin Durant called you out recently and basically said, "Get your act together. Either lift the mandate or double down and say, you know what? If you're unvaccinated, I don't care where you're from. You can't play in my city." But ultimately, like, just lift the whole thing up. Like, if you're gonna be serious about it, the whole thing should be lifted. Because
I mean, we're over it. We're over it. You know, today was the day they said 2 weeks to cover or to slow down the spread, and here we are 2 years later.
2 weeks.
And you know what? 2 years. And you got the other buffoon who's enjoying his time as mayor and getting his celebrity list by doing these stupid TikToks dancing to Beyonce. Like there's no other. Adams.
He's doing that.
He's enjoying his fame as mayor right now. And taking his trips to DC to hang out with the other dweeb that the senator of New York. I'm not even gonna call him by his name, but you know who I'm talking about, the majority leader. But anyway, I digress.
That's why I don't talk about this stuff.
That's for another show. But we all know we all know. And the fact that athletes are speaking out now, it says a lot because, listen, we don't like hearing people, oh, I have a platform, this and that. But it's got to the point where this is ridiculous. If Kyrie Irving can go into the Barclays Center, can practice with the team, can sit in the front row, but all of a sudden the court is an issue, sitting on the court, and that's got fined $50,000 because he went into the locker room after the game. It's ridiculous. They're trying to make an example out of this guy. And now we hear the reports with the Yankees and the Mets. Listen, Kyrie Irving, he's not alone now. And the Brooklyn Nets fans, listen, they're in New York. On paper, they're a great team. Not the best team this season. But the power can handle, or power in New York City can handle Brooklyn Nets fans because they're not at the top of the totem pole. You don't want to F around with Yankee fans and Met fans, especially Met fans right now where they are a championship caliber team for the first time in how long? On paper to start off the season.
About 7 years.
I mean, they of course they were good in 15. They got hot in 06 during the Willie days. But this is the most exciting time as a Met fan because people want to play for the New York Mets, not the people still want to play for the Yankees, but you know what I'm trying to say here.
Especially what Adamino just said.
Yeah, I did hear that statement. It's good.
Yeah, he goes, well, I get to play for a real team in New York or something like that.
No, playing for a good team. I don't think it was a shade at the Yankees. I don't think it was. And he has his family in New York right now. So, I didn't take those words. If I'm the Yankees, I wouldn't take those words as offensive. I don't think it was a shot at the Yankees. But you don't want to mess around with these fans because every day going to Yankee Stadium and Citi Field, you're going to hear F the mayor. It's going to make Let's Go Brandon expire in New York. F the mayor.
Ranger fans still chanting Pod Van sucks, and a guy hasn't played since the 80s.
No, but I agree with
you. Don't want to mess with pissed off New York sport fans. Trust me, you deal with one twice a week here.
I used to work security at the Garden. Dennis Podvan hasn't played since when? And they still chant Podvan sucks, beat your wife, Podvan beat your wife.
Yeah.
I mean, really? The thing is 30 years old and they still chant it?
Yeah.
But yeah, Carl, you said you were gonna say you agree with what me and Kevin both think.
No, I agree with what you said. We don't want to talk stuff about this on the air, but I do agree. If I can't play, then coming in, you guys sit on the bench too. You can't play. It should be but equal.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Okay.
It's just so
apparently
so laughable in the last few months.
There's an issue with Canada.
There's only one way to move forward, and it's just moving on. You don't have to have all these setbacks and you must get boosted. I'm sorry. Last I knew, unvaccinated people can go into restaurants and bars in New York City and can go to sporting events, but you can't play on the court. You're surrounded by less people to begin with. You're surrounded by less people. You're not in the crowd where in a 50,000 outdoor stadium and maybe half are unvaccinated. You're higher risk by going into the stadium. Not the dugout. Especially when you're getting PCR testing, I'm sure, still every day.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And all he's trying to do is set an example. It's an ego narcissist thing that this mayor has, and that's every politician on both sides of the aisle. They just care about their ego and their power, and they're going to say what they say to make themselves feel better. And if that means putting somebody in their place and not caring if it's an athlete or a celebrity, they will do that. But it's gotten to the point now where 2 years in, numbers have gone down. People aren't even talking about this on the news. It's like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, you don't see those doctors reading off the teleprompter anymore on Channel 7.
Oh, they're gone. They're gone. They're gone.
That?
Those idiots on
the doctors that we see on the news every.
I don't watch the news. It's a waste.
I don't know. I don't watch news. Apparently, unfortunately, I don't have Channel 12 out here, so that's the only thing on.
Even watch that.
But the reason why we had to bring this up is because Aaron Judge is unvaccinated. Because he was asked a question about his vaccination status and he kind of dodged it or put it aside and say, you know what, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Just the whole starting lineup.
And then he told me when we were coming to the studio that Joey Gallo was unvaccinated.
They're all not vaccinated. None of the players are in New York because
I thought they all got the J&J shot.
De Blasio made the emergency whatever private sector thing when he left. They dropped it here in New Jersey. You know what? Get the Yankees ass over. in Somerset at the Toronto Trenton Stadium. Have them play here and screw everybody else in New York.
That day's not coming.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to
You
happen.
won't have to worry about playing
It would
here.
be nice. Don't get me wrong. It would be nice having your team in New
There.
Jersey.
You couldn't get near the
Less
place
holes.
when Jeter went to Trenton to rehab. You couldn't even get near the place. Forget it. It was nuts.
But but honest to God, though, I don't see this lasting long. I think he's going to bow down, and I really think he's going to be like, all right, I'm going to lift this. Getting a lot of negative feedback over this. I'm going to swallow my pride. I'm going to do what's right at the end of the day. And you know what? This is going to hurt his chances as well. You know, again, the Brooklyn Net fans are not Yankee or Met fans. They're just not. And no matter, the Nets can win 3 NBA titles in a row and have a dynasty. They will never be on top of Yankee fans and Met fans.
No, they won't.
They're original New Jersey.
They're originally from New Jersey.
Yeah, but it's frustrating to hear that now.
Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. They were originally New York Nets playing at the Nassau Coliseum.
Long Island. They were Long Island Nets.
And then they went down to...
I wouldn't be freaking out yet, though. I wouldn't be freaking out yet because he is going to face a lot of negative flash. And at the same time, he does have an election in 3 years. So people are going to remember this.
Well, apparently he's going to get called.
Don't mess with Yankee fans.
He's going to... Yeah, especially the bleacher creatures. He's going to get a call from MLB and all these other leagues now. The writing's on the wall. It's got to be done.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, it's only going to get warmer as the season goes on. But the one thing you should really be worried about, because Canada is, ran by a bunch of lunatics on top of that, the whole country, unfortunately. You're going to be missing 9 games by going to Toronto this year.
Yep,
That's
right.
Don't worry about here. We got to worry up there.
Like, so apparently Aaron Judge would miss 100 or 92 games. He missed 92 games. He missed the 81 games for playing in the Bronx. He missed 2 games for playing in Citi Field, and he missed 9 for going to Canada. Think about it. That's all.
Ridiculous.
That's terrible.
But I wouldn't be worried about it yet. And I think he gave the right answer. Just I'm focusing on spring training because I do believe it's going to be lifted. We are at the end of this. I think every person, whether you took it seriously or you just wanted to live life, I think we're at the point where it's safe to move on. We're going to be okay. Let's lift this and go back to normal. It's the only way that we're going to get back to life.
Now, before we continue, did they give the reason why they didn't want to do what they were supposed to do?
Because the reason why they didn't do this is because they wanted to keep the city safe because the numbers are down and
No, I'm talking about the players.
All the players?
Yeah. What was their reason that they didn't want to do it? Did they say?
Because it's their right to choose whether they want to take it or not. It's their right. That's the thing. It's freedom of speech. That's the thing that's unfortunately dying right now in America. We're holding on to that by the grip. No private owner or no politician has the right to, they don't have the right to know what's going into someone's body. They really don't. And it's gone to a point where it's ridiculous. It's kind of dictatorship in a way.
Yes.
We've gone to that point where people saying, oh, are you vaccinated or you're not vaccinated? Who cares? If you want to get the shot, get the shot. I got it. I have no shame in saying it. But I'm not going to discriminate someone who doesn't get it just because, you put me at risk. No. You have the right to do it. Just stay safe and then move on. But we're at the point they shouldn't be discriminated from their job. And we've seen a lot of New Yorkers lose their job because they had the right to decide, I'm not going to get the shot.
Terrible stuff. Just terrible, terrible stuff.
Now, why didn't they say, okay, if you don't do that, then you just have to show negative tests? Why didn't they just say that?
They did. They did.
They lifted that. That's no longer a thing because
they did
really
that, and then they ended it.
Shot.
They ended it because
absurd.
Yeah.
They lifted the private sector mandate here in Jersey a month ago, right?
And I think New Jersey's doing just fine.
Yeah, New Jersey's doing just fine.
New Jersey.
Yeah. Exactly. New York and to an extent California. God help you.
California, who?
California.
Like the reason why I say
California
California
country right now at this point.
Well, the reason why I mentioned California is because they have their own little regulations.
They started lifting it over there now too.
Yeah, they haven't lifted it in California too. Although California is less strict than it is in New York because unvaccinated players can still play, but you have there's some rules and regulations regarding masks.
Well, they're doing good out there. They're only paying $2.50 more a gallon for gas than we.
$5.70 exactly.
No, I think it went up to $7 out there.
No, it's $6. I got a buddy out in Central California right now.
I want to pay that over here.
$6 a gallon.
I'll be taking a horse and carriage.
Oh man,
Take it to the zoo, Rock.
Oh man,
Get the horse.
You go to Freehold. It's not too far.
Yeah, that's right. The track is right there. I got to just jump on and go. Yeah.
Dude, even putting $25 in your gas tank right now doesn't get you much.
No.
I put $25 in yesterday. I'm already on E.
How's this? You know our work vans?
Yeah. You get the card.
We get the card, but Fred had to use it twice because you're only limited to $77. Then they had to put it in again for another $30, so we paid over $100 to fill the van up.
Oh, boy.
The trick is you gotta wait. You gotta get when you're half a tank and then fill it.
That's what you gotta do.
But I don't think it matters. What do you get? Like your truck's 4-cylinder?
I'm a 6.
Oh, you're a 6. I thought you were a 4.
No, I'm a 6.
Oh, you're a 4-cylinder, aren't you, Kev?
I'm a 4.
And you're
My
paying
little car. What the hell? It's a Camry. My little car.
It's a little. Yeah, I'm so.
Yeah, so this is how bad it was.
What am I like? What they have what is it? The stupid princess Cinderella. No, Snow White in that little carriage.
Not the Toys R Us.
Rapunzel.
Yeah, pretty soon we're driving those Toys R Us battery cars.
So
yeah, it's another rose to dress on.
Last week was payday. I was under a half tank. This is how bad it was. I said, put 40 in. I took the whole 40 and filled me up. Like
at a half?
Half.
Jesus.
Yeah.
40, yeah.
Wow.
I'm only filling up half at a time now. It's gotten that bad.
It's bad to the point because it's a trickle effect. Gas, and then your grocery shopping went up. This goes up.
Cold cuts,
and the other thing for all the menus and all the restaurants. Hey, Maddie.
Yeah.
Speaking of restaurants and menus, how's that back doing?
Outback is going great. I just want to mention, for instance, we are having a show.
What a segue, huh?
We are having a show in Outback Steakhouse on May 19th.
It's a really big show.
It's a really, really big show. It'll be Siriani Says Sports collabing with Talking Baseball with Sal Angioletti, and the Grace Foundation will be involved in this as well. It'll be on a Thursday. I know it's a little bit of a weird day, but we talked with the owner, Lee Mazekian.
Which will be back again for the final meeting.
And managers James Kelly and Joe Lancaster. I talked to those 3 guys. They're really, really excited about this. And so am I. And I'm glad that we get to finally get this done because Lee's been talking for years about getting me involved and, getting me hooked up at Outback and making me do a show there. And, I'm glad I get to do it with you guys. And, this I don't know what there's still details left to be determined, like how we're going to set up everything, what time it's going to be, how we're going to get fans to come. So there's still more details that have yet to be planned out.
Right.
But it's gonna come together, and like Sal said, we're gonna be meeting either at the end of March or early April to finalize everything.
Yeah, when I come back from Dallas.
When you come back from Texas, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do it when you come back from Texas.
To Dallas next week, right?
I leave on March 30th. Get there on the 1st of April.
So you leave in 2 weeks.
And I'll be back on the 6th of Tuesday.
So you leave in 2 weeks. So that means that while you're gone, me, Carl, and Kevin are going to take over for you.
Yes, on that first Wednesday show, the 30th.
Yeah.
And then when I come back, we do the opening day special. So it worked out. Everything worked out perfect.
Everything works out perfectly.
Yes, and I'm covering the WWE Hall of Fame for a wrestling talk show that's on the network we're on for the Northeast Streaming Sports. Gonna try and crossing my fingers right now to call or reach out to WWE, see if I can get press credentials, which we can, apparently, because we're sports people.
Ooh.
From the network, I heard, and I'll give it a shot. I wrote to the WWE saying, thank you for putting me into the Undertaker's documentary. I haven't heard nothing yet, but all well and good. It's been
a while when that happened.
I'm going to live a dream.
You're going to live a
Good.
dream.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna look for J.L. Ewing and Ewing Oil. See if I bring some back. I don't know.
Speaking about WWE, my heart goes to
that's
the
right.
family, Scott Hall's family,
That's right.
Kevin Nash.
Bad times don't last,
Yep.
but bad guys do.
Kevin Nash, his longtime friend, his intimate family. When I was younger, I grew up with him when he came in 1992 with Ric Flair and Perfect. So
that was good. Yeah,
I watched him.
Razor Ramon, baby.
Yep. And then all the way through when the Outsiders with WCW with the Nitro Wars.
The Intercontinental match with Shawn Michaels at
Yep.
WrestleMania 10 in the Garden.
All that
The
stuff.
ladder match was the best. That was
Yeah,
the best
so-
one. Yep.
All his matches that he had.
I
The
didn't
best-
realize that he was such a big.
Oh, he was big.
such
I liked him
icon.
better when he was with Hogan and Nash for the Outsiders.
With the NWO. Yeah.
Yes, they were the best.
Great.
But yeah, my heart
I only
goes.
knew Kevin Nash from the longest yard. To be honest, I mean,
Yeah, a lot of the
it's
wrestlers were
unfortunate
there.
Austin was on that.
Oh, today is Happy 316.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
it's 316 day. That's right.
yes. Actually, he
When you
act-
hear the glass, that means it's your ass.
actually
Yeah.
he actually has his beer coming out today.
Yeah.
Austin's beer.
Well,
Really?
It's on. He put it on. What do you call it now? It's worldwide now. It's something he's
Yeah.
on the market or something.
Yeah.
Stock exchange market.
Yeah.
Did I just hear a beer crack?
No, you didn't hear beer correct.
I thought Kevin opened something.
But
Yeah.
anyway, one thing that I really gotta say though, and this is kind of going off topic, we're sticking with wrestling for a little bit. A lot of the wrestlers that from the 80s and 90s, it's unfortunate that they go through what they go through after their retirement because a lot of them,
A lot of injuries and
injuries and
well, they're all on steroids too to begin with.
steroids,
I mean,
exactly.
I hate to be blunt like that. They're all on steroids,
Yeah.
and steroids do kill your body eventually.
yeah, he fell and broke his hip, Scott, and then
Had 3 heart attacks.
a blood clot was apparently released into his heart, and
Had 3 heart attacks.
I was there at MSG. Remember that famous curtain call they did in the steel cage at the Garden?
yes.
I was
yes.
I was there for that.
Breaking news: Chris Bryant to the Colorado Rockies.
Whoa.
Wow.
7 years, 182.
11, 182,
7 182.
7, 182.
7, 182.
Colorado.
So on average, he's making
That was-
$26 million a year.
Weird.
Wow.
That's weird.
I did not see the Colorado Rock. He's looking for a
I
payday.
don't get that. How do you do that?
So they will spend money on Chris Bryant, but they would trade Nolan and
7 years,
they would trade
182.
Nolan.
Here it is.
182, 26 million average annual value.
So that
And
means
Von
they're-
Miller, by the way, is a Buffalo Bill. So 2 breaking newses.
Von Miller-
Whoa.
Von Miller-
Von Miller to
Oh.
Buffalo.
yeah, Von Miller went to the Buffalo
Wow.
Bill. So that means they better re-up Trevor Story now.
Yeah.
Colorado.
Story's not going back.
No, he's not. So now
I
the
mean,
Cubs
I
are going to get dumpster fire no matter what happens.
I'm honestly stunned by this. I really am.
I
I'm
don't
kind of
see-
shocked by
I
that
don't-
too.
You would think maybe the Giants, but not go
I mean,
back.
Chris
to-
Bryant, you can tell he was looking for a payday. He's got a ring already.
Colorado?
So he's like,
This is
I'll
probably
get my
why
payday now.
Iglesias and Cole inked a 1-year deal with the Rockies.
Jose Iglesias. Okay, but
Wow, that's kind of.
now I have a question for 3 of you guys. Now, why did the Yankees broke that Correa originally signed with you guys in the beginning of the week?
Reporters are just
Who?
really bad.
Oh, the Carlos Correa?
Carlos Correa.
Yeah,
He wasn't coming here.
But
He wasn't.
That was a fake thing.
fake thing.
It's.
Oh yeah,
Fi-
no, I saw that fake report on Friday. I bought it for a second, and then I realized it was
Yeah,
a fake.
he
I think I
messaged
sent
me,
it to you
I'm like,
guys,
no way.
actually.
The
And then 2
Yankees.
minutes later, I realized it was a fake account.
The Yankees are never again going for a 10-year, $300 million contract. You did it with Rodriguez,
and that
and you re-upped
almost
them
never
again
worked
for that,
out.
and then you just did it with Giancarlo Stanton.
Oh,
Mike
so
Stanton. Whatever the hell his name is.
Well, they're taking
Swallow.
the contract.
Tony
They're taking
Ellsbury.
the contract.
Swallow.
So here's a little side scoop about his contract now.
Who?
So for his next contract, Correa. So before the lockout, he had his agent. So if he does a 1-year deal, his agent now before Scott Boras has to get part of the cut.
Mhm.
Then next year, whatever contract he signs, Scott Boras gets the whole deal.
Scott Boras is one of the best agents out there in Major League Baseball.
I don't know.
I don't know.
He gets his clients big time contracts.
All right, then,
I
where is
can't-
he? Then should we hire him? Where is he?
I can't be personally. I can't stand him and Drew Rosenhaus. I can't stand both those guys.
Oh, speaking of getting rid of somebody, let's all
What do you have
celebrate
against them?
the Joe Buck is gone.
No, he's not gone.
He went to ESPN.
Yeah, I'm saying he's not gone.
Yeah, he's not allowed to work with Fox anymore.
He's still going to hear him.
No, not for the World
He's still gonna
Series.
hear him, though.
You're still going to hear him.
Not for the World Series.
Oh, well, that's different.
That's what I'm saying.
I wonder, though. I wonder.
Joe Davis, and John Smoltz, right?
I think so, yeah.
Don't forget A-Rod.
But
And who
I
else was
wonder.
on ESPN?
A-Rod and Michael K.
Oh,
We're supposed to be a team.
Michael K.
Now Aikman's actually going to ESPN too.
Yeah, I know.
Let Aikman handle
I
it.
wonder, though. There's had to be a talk.
With who?
Hey, Joe, you want to do Sunday Night Baseball? I know they got their team set right now, but when it's Joe Buck with you, I mean, I'm sure he's satisfied with his contract by just doing football at the moment, but you can't tell me there hasn't been one discussion with him and ESPN about doing Sunday Night Baseball.
What's the deal he's getting? It's ridiculous amount of money.
He's getting over $100 million, him and Troy Aikman.
Wow.
That'll be.
We in the wrong business right now.
If I was Carl Ravitch, I'll say, you know what? I'm gone. If you don't bowl me like this, I'm gone.
I like the old school John Miller and what's his name?
Joe Morgan.
Joe Morgan on Wednesday nights. Those guys.
Those were the good old days.
Come on.
Those were the good
Monday
old
Night
days.
Baseball back in the day. You had basically the guys doing Monday Night Baseball were the same guys as Monday Night Football, right?
Yep.
It's Cassell. Who else?
Jack Buck.
No, it was Cassell, Hal Cassell. It was Keith Jackson.
Yeah.
And I think you had what's his name?
What's his name was there for a while though?
Don Drysdale.
Something like that. And you had Jim Palmer for a bit.
Yeah.
Reggie.
Palmer.
Reggie was on during the Yankees 76 series, right? He was calling that game?
I don't know.
Before he became a Yankee, he was calling the World Series.
That's before
that happened 20 years before I was born. I can't.
Yeah,
I was born
Listen, you guys stop at the old age.
I was born in 80. So I was born in 80. So that's before my time.
Werner Wolf. Let's go to the videotape.
Sorry, Sal.
George Michael's Sports Machine. I used to go to sleep to that on, was it Sunday night at 11 o'clock or 11:30. That was after the.
George Michael's a singer?
No, it was
a sports. There is
machine.
a singer, George Michael. Yeah,
it was clips. It was just a 30-minute highlight show of clips for a game.
I like it.
Okay, I got you.
He used to touch a big button. Let's go to see what happened at the Yankee game. And he said, right?
It was kind of like NFL primetime with Berman and Tom Jackson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
He actually called. Berman actually called games on ESPN too. He was good. Boomer.
He did. I know that.
I liked him.
I think Al Michaels used to call baseball games too.
Yeah,
Actually,
he did.
yeah.
Al Michaels, yes.
Actually, Al Michaels is a free agent. They're trying to lure him to Fox.
Wait.
No, he's going to Amazon, and it looks like a deal's in place. He's going to be doing Thursday Night Football.
He
It's
can't
not
be.
official yet, but it's going to happen.
That's a terrible deal. Why would you want to leave NBC for Amazon?
Because they weren't brave. They were putting Tirico in the booth.
Yeah, no, the writing's been on the wall.
Who's that?
Mike Tirico.
Al Michaels.
Al Michaels is gone for NBC.
Really?
This was a plan, Matt. This was a plan for like 3 years.
Yeah.
That Tirico was going to be the guy at this time once Michael's contract was done.
I had a feeling they were grooming Tirico, but I didn't think they were going to get rid of Al Michaels entirely.
And what the
he's going to still be doing it, but a different.
They're going to
Getting
actually
rid of him. They're just not renewing him.
So what
He's not like fired or anything.
They're going to probably weed out Collinsworth, and they want Breeze in the booth with him too.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
That's not happening. That's not happening, at least anytime soon. Listen, say what you want about Chris Collinsworth. In my opinion, if a crow could talk, it would have Chris Collinsworth's voice box. He is a great analyst at the end of the day.
I like Collinsworth.
If a crow could talk, it would sound like Chris Collinsworth.
I like the old school. You know, the Yankees. You had Rizzuto, White, and Mercer. Not Mercer. Rizzuto, White, and not Mercer. Who was the other guy?
And I wasn't born, Sal. I don't know.
John Gonzalez, help me out.
I just remember K.
Well, the
Bobby
ABC
Mercer,
Monday
King
Game of the
Todd.
Week was what?
ABC.
That's right. Gowdy and Kubek. Yep. And Kubek was a Yankee. He played second. He was a second baseman, I believe,
All
or
right,
a
so
shortstop.
Before we end the show, I want to throw us out a shout out to the commish. In 2.5 weeks, he has opening day.
Oh, that's right. The
On
Miracle League. We got to get over there.
April 2nd is opening day for them.
Nice.
I won't be here. Damn it.
So, but yeah, they have opening day for there in 2.5 weeks. So hopefully it's nice weather for the kids to go out there and play some ball. Can't wait for that.
Nice. Also, I'm trying to think of.
At least they're starting on time, unless compared to Major League Baseball.
No.
We always.
We got the Somerset Patriots again.
In 4 weeks.
We gotta hit that. You know, we got to see the up and comer Anthony Volpe.
Anthony Volpe, and then Dominguez is over there too.
Yeah, you got the other kid, Peralta, whatever the hell his name is.
Kids. You got a lot of kids.
A lot of kids.
Chocolata.
It is cool though to see, you know, like top prospects that are going to be basically playing. I mean, not technically our backyard in Monmouth County, but just a 30-minute drive, and
that's why the Yankees didn't want to go all in on a lot of money. They know these kids. I think Volpe's
they're
got
relying on Anthony Volpe.
two years.
That's why they're not giving Correa all this money.
Right. They see something in this kid now.
I mean, they said the same thing about Miguel Andujar, and look where he's at right now.
He got beat up.
I did hear that.
He got beat up and robbed.
No, like he got robbed in the Dominican Republic.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yankee fans, you see what happened? You want to lock us out? Here you go. Give me your $700,000 watch.
No, but Miguel also had a lot of potential, and they hyped him up. And you know, he had one good second half of the year.
Great third baseman at the time.
Urshela came on, and
he got hurt. That was it.
Gio took over.
Oh, Gio Urshela.
People gotta also remember we wasted a lot of money on.
It broke my heart also because I went on Instagram like after the trade, and I was just going through stories, and it was like 12 hours before it was Gio Urshela walking into the locker room. I'm like, oh man, and I was a big Gio guy. Gary, he had his problem was his ego. Gary Sanchez's problem was his ego. The I am Gary thing in 2016. And I agree. I think he got Joe Girardi out of there because Girardi was criticizing him and I don't like being yelled at. I'm going to be the leader. Blah, 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 blah. Look where you are now. He downgraded. He downgraded the players.
Yeah, and it's funny this all happened because during the press conference they asked Aaron Boone, and his answer was Gio Urshela is my shortstop right now. And not an hour after he said that, he was gone.
But I do, other than Donaldson, I do like what they got out of the trade because he's a stud on the defensive side. He can hit the ball. He's got some wheels on top of that. But you got to have defense for the Yankees right now,
right?
And you've had a lot of issues last season in the infield defensively. So that's what it is.
There was another trade that we didn't go over. Mitch Garver went from the Twins to Texas.
Oh yeah. Texas is really amping it up too.
Yeah,
they're waiting for that.
They're not there yet, though. They're not there yet.
Is Leiter up with them yet? The kid?
What?
No.
Jack Leiter? What's his name?
Leiter's good.
No.
And Nelson Cruz is a DH for the Nationals.
That I
will be traded by the. You know what?
That I didn't understand.
Here we go. By July 31st, he will not be a Washington National. If he's still a National August 1st, dinner's on me.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
He will be traded by the deadline.
To where?
I don't know where. A contender. The Nationals aren't there yet.
I say a contending National
League
team. I say a contending National League team.
I'm surprised the Mets didn't grab him. I was shocked.
He can go anywhere now with DH on both sides.
The Mets are loaded.
He will not be a National by the end of the season. No doubt in my mind.
Didn't he come up in the Mets organization?
Cruz?
Nelson Cruz?
Cruz? No, he didn't.
I was reading somebody came up in the Mets organization.
It wasn't Nelson Cruz now.
Somebody.
But he's 42 years old and he can still hit the ball. I mean,
he's a fine.
I mean, the money that he got though explains why he would want to go to DC, of course. But you're in a good situation, in Tampa Bay, and I get that the stadium's a dump, but you got
DC's in trouble, right? What's his name? Is he going to pitch this year, or is he still going to be out? Strasburg?
Steven Strasburg?
No, he's back.
He's back.
He's back.
No, he's back.
Yeah, he's fine.
That was a big contract, right?
Yeah,
still
they gave him that 5-year extension after the World Series.
Yeah, he still has like
Right.
4 years left or something, or 3 years left. He's
But you know what? They won the World Series, and they got to eat crow for a couple years.
I was like,
I remember they won.
97. Then they got rid of everybody. They beat the
And they
Yankees.
didn't win in Montreal either. So take what you can get.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see the Yankee lineup being? You do righty, lefty, righty. You see DJ, Rizzo, Judge, Gallo, Stanton.
It's tough. I've seen a lot of projected lineups, and some of them even have Rizzo leading off.
Nah, you can't. You got to do the righty, lefty, righty.
We only have 2 lefties in the lineup.
Well, you have Gallo and you got Rizzo.
So you got to do DJ, Rizzo or Gallo. You got to go DJ, maybe Gallo, Judge.
Donaldson, I think, will hit cleanup.
I don't know, maybe 5th or 6th. That's a crazy lineup if you think about it.
Judge, Donaldson, Giancarlo, Gallo.
Boom, boom, ball. Now we got to hear Sterling's got to get some new calls in.
Did you hear him give one to Tiki Barber the other day? And it was disgusting.
No.
It's a Barber Harbor or something like that. It sounded so terrible.
Oh, it was like Frank Messer. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. I couldn't think of the guy's name.
Oh boy.
Hi, I'm Bill White, and this is Phil Rizzuto. This is Phil Rizzuto for the money.
Speaking of calls, the Dodgers have a new play-by-play crew this year, and I think Jess Mendoza is involved with their organization.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I think she's like I think she's like
ESPN did a lot of remodeling with their broadcasting on not just the NFL.
Why don't they take us? What are they waiting for? Hello, we're out here. We'll do it for a couple of burgers, some hot chili, and everything else.
We're gonna need more than a couple burgers.
Speaking of places,
I will not be negotiating that contract. God forbid.
Before the show, I went down Eli's backyard, right over down here. Right, Ming? Is that what it's called? Eli's backyard?
Yeah. Don't you have the menu there?
He's got me like.
Oh yeah, you're gonna
put up the menu.
The menu. Get the menu.
Big shout to Ellie's backyard.
Eli's.
Ellie's.
You only gave me the full menu. They didn't have any takeout menus. I've heard of pulled pork sandwiches. Great. I had a pulled chicken sandwich.
Pulled chicken?
Oh my God. Look at that.
Where you pull the chicken from?
The backyard, Rock. Get that chicken, damn it.
Okay.
Even the zoo must have went up.
Zoo?
Can't take it to the zoo no more, Rock.
I feel like I've been there though before. I do feel like I've been there before.
God, I got it.
That menu does look familiar.
You've been here? We need to go after the show because I was reading the dessert menu. And I was like, oh my God, if I have this now, I'm not leaving. I won't be able to do the show. But you got to try this place right down over here on Broad Street. They just opened in August, they told me. I loved it. The food was great. I was like dying. I'm dying over here, lady. And it was great.
Okay, maybe I haven't been there then.
About what's next? We're here next week, right? What's today?
Today is the 16th. It's 3/16.
Oh, let's wish everybody who celebrates a happy St. Patty's Day tomorrow.
Yes.
St. Patrick's Day, that's right.
To all our listeners here and abroad, especially on Roku television. I'm over here now because you said. And let me tell you something. Even the prices are great. They do lunch, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and it was great. I want to thank them. Go visit all the wonderful places here in Red Bank.
We're going to do a dinner.
Studio 311. Ming's got all the plans laid out here. Where we got to go.
And Matt, I wish your team good luck tonight against the Fighting Irish.
Thank you.
Oh, that's right. Today's a big game tonight.
Yeah.
Right?
So Rutgers plays Notre Dame in the final playing game of the March Madness tournament to get to the field of 64.
Isn't that the team Dan Schweck likes?
I think
Schweck likes Penn State.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Schweck's Penn State guy. And the funny thing about it is my Uncle James, who's a big baseball fan, his two sons, Joseph and James, play baseball. His alma mater is Notre Dame, and my alma mater, as you know, is Rutgers. So I texted my uncle yesterday, and I'm like, "Yeah, your school's playing my school." So it's gonna be interesting. Rutgers, they're in for a tough one. They're always in for a tough one. Every Rutgers game is close.
Mhm.
But we'll have to see how they fare. And I actually want to say, speaking of Rutgers, one more thing.
Okay.
Their baseball team's actually not bad.
Not bad. Okay.
Their
You know
baseball
what?
team's actually
I
not
have a
bad.
friend who I worked with security over at Raintree Community in Freehold there. Guy James, who used to relieve me, his son plays on the Rutgers baseball team.
What's his name?
Lasco.
I'm going to keep an eye out for that name. I'm going to keep an eye out because
Lasko.
I know I came on this show a few weeks ago, and said that Rutgers baseball is trash. I was actually wrong.
Oh man.
I was wrong.
Now you got to eat crow now, Matt.
I got
Crow.
No,
Oven roasted crow.
I will eat my slice of humble pie and
Humble pie.
admit that I was wrong. Like, they're actually really good this year.
Now, if you do beat Notre Dame, I like Notre Dame football, not too much basketball. But if you do beat Notre Dame tonight, then you go play Alabama on Friday.
Yep.
The Crimson Tide.
Right.
Is that why Jerry Recco's not in?
Jerry Recco should be in Dayton, Ohio for this
Dayton,
game.
yes.
He's in Dayton right now.
I'll be there. I'll be in Dayton in June, actually.
He's in Dayton, Ohio right now. And if
Richie's doing his elbow
and
show,
if
yeah.
Rutgers does win this game, then Rutgers will have to travel to San Francisco for the Midwest region.
San Francisco.
But yeah,
sorry, that's a Village People song.
But yeah, Carl, thank you for the good luck. Hopefully, I come back with some positive news. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. This was a great show tonight. We got a new background. We're gonna have a lot of new things happening, and Roadshow 2022 will continue. Crossing the fingers with 2 shows in April in Staten Island, probably back-to-back weeks. We're looking at maybe April 13th at the Staten Island Ferry Hawk Stadium. Just got to wait for a phone call and do that. April 20th, what a crazy story Kevin was talking to me about, that some guy in Staten Island knows who I am.
Yeah, that was
What's the name of the place
interesting.
again?
I did leave an email, so hopefully I'll have more info for you next week.
What's his name again?
Larry Leadley.
How do you pronounce his last name?
Leadley?
Leadley.
I don't know. There's a lot of Leadleys.
Apparently you knew who I was. I said, why don't you guys come out on April 20th, I think, right? Something.
Yeah, so time will tell. We'll see what happens.
So,
We'll see what happens.
possible 2 dates in April with a definite date, May the 19th at Outback Steakhouse in Middlesex? No, Middletown.
Middletown.
Why did I
Monmouth
say
County.
Middlesex?
Monmouth County.
Definitely be for that one. Definitely be there in May for that one.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Like I said,
We're going to turn up the notch again with the Grace Foundation, raise money as we love to do community work with this show. And
actually, I just want to say one thing about the Outback show. Because Siriani Says Sports is partnering with Talking Baseball with Sal Angioletti, my cousin Ryan Jr., who you know him as Ryan Barringer Jr., my co-host on Siriani Says Sports, he'll be involved in this as well. So
yeah, there's a lot of good things coming here. And now our trip in July, I guess, to Pittsburgh and Cleveland will happen.
Yes.
You guess?
I said yes.
I don't like it. Yes!
Yes.
All right, guys. This was a great show tonight. A lot of pep in our step. Baseball's back. It's gonna be a roller coaster year with this new playoff thing, and we're gonna be going nuts all year.
Yeah.
We got to call the game somehow. And of course, I'm your host, Sal Angioletti, with Call, Matty Ice, K-Wall, and of course, the one and only Ming on the other side of the
Ming
glass,
Chen.
as always,
Hey,
in the
Ming.
great Shared Universe Podcast Studio in lovely Red Bank, New Jersey. And of course, New Jersey, as always,
Stay classy.
Have a great evening.
This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.